I am at the Bridge to Nowhere Trailhead, and my plan is to go out pretty high up the East Fork and then come back. So I'm stopping by the cabin ruins of the Billy Heaton Mine again, and I plan on going to the Adit, even though I was here last Monday. Here it is, the Billy Heaton Mine Adit. And looks like we got kind of a little frog swimming around here. So that's kind of cool. I might get a photo or two. I don't know. I did my best to photograph him, but he's just kind of hanging out underwater. So yeah, I was just here when I did my recon for the parking. And for those of you who are not aware, you know, the Bridge to Nowhere Trail opened up on, I think, June 20th, 2025, after the bridge fire. And I've been really itching to do what I have planned today. But I figure a nice way to kind of start the video is just revisit this mine. So yeah, pretty wild. I think it's 127 feet deep. And I'm planning on also stopping by a few others, maybe the Horseshoe Mine. That was fun to explore again, very briefly. And just so you're aware, there's a cabin there. And the cabin I passed coming up is right there. So this is the East Fork of the San Gabriel River. And I think I'm getting close to the first crossing here. You know, there is pretty nice flow. Looks like people have kind of built up these dams to create these rock pools. So yeah, anyways, so far the trail has been not too hard to follow, even at night. Got a big old millipede here, you know, and these things like to come out at night. I think the ants are trying to get at it actually, so yeah, pretty cool. I kind of hear a frog, yeah, right here. So that's what they look like when they're croaking. Give it a sec, yeah, okay. Pretty cool. The Bridge to Nowhere is right over there. What I think I'm gonna do real quick though is head down this way and try to find one of the adits of the Horseshoe Mine. So that should be neat. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I passed the mine over there. That being said, there is this neat little cabin here. So I know there are a lot of ruins on the East Fork, many that I've passed, but this is about in that area where the mine should be, so kind of neat. All right, this is the Devil's Gulch Lower Waterfall at night. And wow, yeah, pretty big. So, you know, not sure if I'll come back during the day now, but this is what it's like at, I don't know what time it is, after midnight when it's pitch black, and yeah, pretty wild, you know. Not sure how this is gonna turn out. Woo! Nice. Not bad. Yeah, so good to rinse off, you know, and even coming out here at night, you know, it's still quite a beautiful area. You got this insane waterfall, the fig trees, you know, so yeah, nice little canyon here. That's wild. So this is a little chimney. There must have been a cabin here at some point, and the waterfall is just right over there. So I don't really know too much about what the history of this specific cabin is, but yeah, I'm very curious to know. That's a pretty wild place for a cabin just right by that waterfall in this canyon. I think the Horseshoe Mine's like just somewhere over here in this general area, but I don't exactly know where. I may poke around a little more now, and if I don't find it, I'll try to come back during the daytime potentially, or sometime later. Well, this is something. I don't think it's the one I'm necessarily looking for, but let's see how it is inside. Yeah, okay. It's definitely warm. Huh. Yeah, okay. This definitely looks interesting, kind of sketchy. Yeah, I'm just gonna be extra careful. You can see a lot of this stuff is just an old riverbed, so We're gonna be super careful here. I don't think I'm ever gonna come back into this one. Yeah, you can just see a bunch of this caved in, so I'm gonna be extra careful here. Yeah. All right. So this is pretty wild. Yeah, I can see all this like altered sediment here. So pretty neat. Does anyone know actually what this mine is? Is this the Horseshoe Annex? I'd be very curious to know. Definitely goes back a ways. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't know necessarily just by looking in how deep this is. I'm gonna get a few photos real quick before making my way back. All right, neat area. Yeah, I'm not sure how well I'm getting this for you, but you know, I have to crouch at certain places. But yeah, this is definitely wild. Not like most mines I get into, you know. This is, you certainly get a lot of rockfall here. I'm gonna get a little photo here too, actually. Pretty crazy. All right, I hope some of those photos turned out okay. Yeah, you know, this is definitely different than a lot of the really hard rock mines I've gotten into, you know, so I had to climb up a bit to get to this one, but not super high. That being said, yeah, I do want to be kind of careful here, you know. So, but yeah, I'm happy about this find, and I know there's another one in this area. Yeah, I'm interested about that. I'll set this stuff down here, maybe get some footage there real quick. All right, gonna be, of course, extra careful here. Avoid touching walls, you know. Wow. Yeah, this is certainly an interesting area. Okay. It's a big boulder there. Looks like, yeah, this section doesn't go back too far, but yeah, you can see all these wild looking river gravels here. So someone's been working this a bit. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, let's get out of here. Not too excited about spending a whole bunch of time in this. Yeah, so that's not the mine I was necessarily looking for, but it's a mine nonetheless. I think the actual one that I'm trying to find will be easier to find during the day. Thought I'd pause to show y'all my socks and my feet, you know, and the sun's not even up yet. So it's gonna be quite the day today. So for those of you interested in fish, I haven't been seeing a lot of big fish until just now. I mean, these guys are kind of small, but I did see the larger ones swimming around in there. I just saw a larger trout right there, yeah. So it's right above that other pool, and there are a few good ones here. But yeah, I'd say this one is, maybe it's under the rock, and that one's one of the larger ones. Oh, it's a fox, okay. Right now I am crossing the bridge to Nowhere, and there's a company that does bungee jumping here. There might be someone camped out there, so I'm not talking too loud at the moment, but yeah, anyways, it's a neat area. I guess we're getting into the narrow section earlier than I anticipated. So I'm right past the bridge, and I gotta say that this area is very beautiful in the daytime. Same with the bridge. We'll put a few photos right now, but my plan is to try to make it up a good ways up through the Narrows, you know, and then come back. And I think a lot of the footage in this video will actually be at daytime. But I recall there being some nice areas here, a few that you can actually jump into when they're deep enough. So always check, but yeah. I think someone's camping out there. I'm gonna try to go around them, and then I might come back in the morning and say hi or something. I don't know. Yeah, there's the campsite. Pretty neat. So this looks like one of those forks, and I think this is the main east fork of the San Gabriel River. So I'm gonna keep going up this way. I'm not sure if this is a fork or a spring, but it definitely flows into the main creek area. It's starting to get brighter. Part of it's my phone and my flashlight, obviously, on the leaves here. But yeah, I'm at this other fork here, flowing a little more than that spring-like thing. And yeah, it looks like I may be going up that way a little bit too on my way back. You know what? I think I'm gonna poke up this one now. I can't imagine it going very far. So we have two nice things here. We got some Humboldt lilies that are still blooming, you know, very beautiful orange flowers with, I guess, reddish brownish dots that hang upside down. But we also have quite a nice waterfall. So yeah, I don't really know all the names of the kind of major tributaries feeding into the east fork of the San Gabriel River, but I think one of them is called Falls Gulch. I don't know if this is it, but yeah. Tried to set the light down somewhere reasonable, but yeah, I gotta say, I kind of wish I got here a little later, because this is a really beautiful waterfall. And those orange flowers I showed you earlier in the last video clip, I guess, there are some orange flowers, Humboldt lilies just right up there, you know, so I'm sure when the sun's up, it'll be even more beautiful. But yeah, I'm gonna, do a little bit of a breakfast now, just an orange, and head back down. But I will show you some more of the Humboldt lilies in a second that are on the other side of the creek here. Again, very beautiful waterfall, and yeah, a bunch of those Humboldt lilies. So I'll show y'all, another plant over here. So yeah, also, I don't know, yeah, I think I pointed them out. There are some up there, but they're a little harder to see. I mentioned it in the last conversation though, but yeah, when you get up close to them, as I probably showed you earlier, this is what you get. And they only really bloom in the kind of early summer, late spring. So it's about where we're at now. The sun is rising, and I'm starting to see that these Humboldt lilies here are kind of all across the landscape, So I don't know how many of them I missed coming up, but yeah, there's another one kind of around there too that I saw from below. But yeah, these flowers are really kind of all over. Looks like some of them may be indicating that it's kind of late in the season though. So yeah, but all right, for now I'm gonna keep going up, but thought I'd show you all these beautiful flowers. I don't really know how far up I'm gonna go today. I think my plan is keep going until it gets warm, or until I just get a little bit past Prairie Fork. I think I'll be able to recognize that. So we'll see what happens. On my way back, I'm really curious about what I'm actually going to find, because at night I wouldn't have noticed what I'm about to show you, but slippery. Now, I can see it. And big section of cabin ruins right alongside the canyon wall here. And I don't think it's a mine, but just down there, I actually saw what almost looked like an adit to me. The cabin ruins are right there, and what I saw is this little hole, and it kind of reminded me of that tunnel that was dug into the river sediment. So as I came up, I was looking, and yeah, it looks like it descends a little ways, but if there ever was anything, it obviously collapsed. So I don't know, it's kind of an odd position for boulders to be in, but maybe someone was mining here. I don't know. Wow. All right. So this waterfall definitely isn't flowing the strongest, but it's certainly the tallest I've seen so far on the East Fork. So I know that there are some other big ones like what's it called? Dang, the one in the Allison Gulch, I guess. But yeah, anyways, another thing to note here is the abundance of the Humboldt lilies. So there's a few there, definitely a few right over there. I'll just show you them. I like showing off these beautiful flowers, even when they're kind of wilting. But yeah, even more on the other side, right around here. So it's I don't know, a little mossy here, but there's a pool more or less. Yeah, if we just go over here, yeah, a bunch of Humboldt lilies. So yeah, some of them are wilting, but I mean, if you had gone out here, if this had opened maybe like a couple weeks ago, these would have been kind of in their peak, you know, nice and fresh. But anyways, yeah, more over there. I'm gonna stop pointing these out and keep going up that way. It looks like we do get into some narrows soon from what I saw down there. Yeah, so pretty wild waterfall. And yeah, maybe that'll give you a sense of how tall this is. I don't know if my earlier shots really kind of captured how big this is. Right here, the canyon walls start to narrow in again, kind of like they do near the bridge to Nowhere on the East Fork. And yeah, I suspect it'll be a little bit on and off here in terms of where the canyon walls come together. But you know, if I notice anything exceptional, I'll let you know for sure. Yeah, in the past, I wanted to come out here, you know, and do something far, but I was always kind of worried about, you know, especially during the summer, all the people cooking and starting fires here, you know. And so I did jog out to the bridge to Nowhere and do sections of the narrows before, but I never really pushed it, you know, and I'm gonna try to push it a little more today. Not saying I couldn't do more than I'm gonna do today, but I really want to kind of see a lot more of this than I have historically. So we're at a spot where there are two roughly equally sized creeks flowing into each other, and I know that one of these is the San Gabriel River. Which one that may be, I'm not sure, but to be honest, it looks like this one actually has just a little more water than this one does. So I think what I'm gonna do is go at this one. This is probably it. But on my way back, I'm gonna come up and poke around here real quick. The canyon walls are kind of narrowing again. So regardless of whether or not I'm on the right path, I think that's a good sign and makes it a beautiful trip. There is some water flowing down right over there. So I figure it might be worth taking a look real quick. It's kind of a mossy spring-like waterfall. It's trickling here, you know, and there, but it winds up actually developing quite a bit of flow down this way. So pretty cool. Got some smashed avocado and smashed chips. So unfortunately, the avocado is kind of rotten, so we're just gonna do crushed chips for now. You know, I haven't really been getting all that much footage as I make my way up, but you know, some of these canyon walls are just amazing, you know, and yeah, I'm looking forward to, as I mentioned before, backtracking and showing y'all how it is actually near the bridge to Nowhere. I think I'm getting close to Prairie Fork at this point, but I do kind of want to poke around this tributary with some water flowing out of it. I don't want to go up too far because I like to get to Prairie Fork before it gets hot, but I think I can see a nice little waterfall spot. Interesting. Looks like someone maybe maintains this spot and I don't know, trying to grow grass, the legal kind. Looks like this has been watered like really quite recently because it's wet. But yeah, that's wild. Yeah, you see that? It's all wet, but wet around the plants. Maybe I'll run into someone. Let's go check out the waterfall real quick. Wow, very beautiful. Nice little little pool here. Yeah. All right. Kind of want to do a little cold plunge in this actually. Might be a nice way to start the morning, I guess, even though I've been pretty active. So yeah, I'll give it a go. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Whew. Nice and chilly. All right, I'm gonna go poke around up there. I think there may be someone camping out here, you know, so we need to see, but I'll let you know. I'm not gonna go too crazy up that way. There are some people camping right up there, so I figure I'll just kind of let them have their piece. Anyways, yeah, that was nice and neat to see, you know. Another nice pool right there. That was pretty neat, you know. It looks like they're growing something. These could be onions, I don't know. I'm not gonna pick any, but yeah, I saw some tents. Didn't look like anyone was really up and about, so I felt like it made sense to just, you know, leave them, you know, in peace. This is really gorgeous right now. So the sun's coming up and you can really see all the destruction from the burning, you know. But aside from that, yeah, the river's still flowing. A little bit of vegetation that's green here and there. So I think it's beautiful despite the burning. But yeah, anyways, I'm not sure how much further it is, but gonna keep heading up this way. I don't know if you could tell, but getting up into the pine forest here. Unfortunately, all these pines have been burned by the bridge fire, you know, so it's not super obvious that they're evergreen trees. I feel like I'm seeing things that kind of look like Prairie Fork, but they wind up being mirages. Anyways, it does look like I'm getting close to another one, but who knows. However, I did want to show you guys something. So I do see a little waterfall over there. A little out of the way, but it looks kind of nice. So I'm gonna go check it out. Almost to the waterfall, but I thought I'd show y'all this little butterfly here sipping nectar from the Humboldt lilies. So pretty cool, letting me get pretty close, which is nice. And yeah, tried to get some photos of the butterfly, but it just flew away. Anyways, yeah, here's this kind of chill little waterfall, you know, so kind of surprised to see it here, but then again, there are a lot of steep canyons and I don't always know how far up they go. So yeah, looks like this one even has a nice little pool here. Wow, okay. And that's really beautiful actually. Wow, okay. Nice and crystal clear. That being said, there are also a bunch of these Humboldt lilies here, and it looks like that butterfly flew over to one of them to sip on some nectar. Nice little peaceful pool here, you know. One of the things I really love about the San Gabriels is, I gotta get this vest off, you know, is that you can just kind of explore spots you haven't explored, and if you're willing to kind of go far enough and go to some of these secluded areas, you can just find nice little pools like this with big waterfalls flowing into them. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna actually grab some trail mix real quick and then get in that water. It does look quite inviting, so I'm excited. All right. All right, I am not looking forward to murkying this up, but I'm gonna do a quick little rinse. Wow, yeah, this is nice. It's cold, but the sun's kind of coming up, so it works, you know. I'm hoping to be over at that spot by 9 too. We'll see. Anyways, let's do a little head dunk, cold plunge. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Feels good. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Spent kind of a bit here, just I don't know, you know, eating, taking pictures, getting video, so gotta make it up a little further, and then I can do my descent a little faster in the daytime, and yeah, it should be good. There's a stream over there and a stream over there, so could be getting close to Prairie Fork, but these may also just kind of temporarily diverge. I'm about where Prairie Fork is. Prairie Fork actually comes through there. But yeah, right behind me is this kind of alluvial fan surface kind of flowing down from Mount Baden-Powell way up there. And yeah, so I'm gonna go actually to wherever the fork is in the creek and then turn around. This might be officially where the Prairie Fork meets the water, I guess, flowing out of there, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe you just don't get very much water up there. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I think this is a good turnaround spot. Some people actually thru hike this. So it's about, I think 5 more miles to Vincent Gap, but we got about a little over 10 to go back, plus whatever I wind up doing up the other forks. So, you know, I'm actually kind of feeling like taking a nap. I don't know. You know, I just got my hat out of my pack because it's sunny. And yeah, I didn't really sleep much last night. So I might do a quick little 15-minute break. I think the issue is to just rest a little bit, you know, not get too hot and get out of here before it gets too hot. You know, I'd like to be in the narrow section when the sun is up. All right, that was pretty nice. I think I'm gonna make my way back right now though. So I saw this from kind of back up there and it looked like an exploratory adit. Sort of made sense with the kind of iron mineralization here. But if it was, I don't think I could really crawl back. I also saw stuff like that. It sort of looks hollow, you know, so, and, oh, yeah, whatever this is all kind of covered in poison oak, but you can kind of see there's a hole there. So I don't know, there may be some mining here or something, or some exploratory stuff going on. Yeah, so there it is for different perspective. But anyways, yeah, it's neat to kind of look down the canyon. You know, you notice things on the return trip that you don't notice when you're going up. And I'd say that spot is one of them, although it's not the best. So I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for more mines. Maybe I'll find some more up here. I don't know. These Humboldt lilies, definitely beautiful in the sunlight, you know. Lovely flowers, they are drying up, but some of them are still in decent shape. I love these canyon walls, you know. We're gonna get a lot more of this later in the day as I make my way back to Bridge to Nowhere. But I think I even got a clip of this one coming up, you know. Really nice spot. Right here, got ourselves an alligator lizard. So this one's quite colorful actually. Maybe we can catch him. Yep, there we go. I got you. You know, so yeah, they're pretty cool. They can bite, but I don't think it really hurts. And this one's extra orange, you know, so pretty wild. He's biting me. Let's get his head. There we go. Yeah, the bite doesn't really hurt, but you can tell he's a little flustered now. I might get a few photos and then just let him go. All right, let's set him where we caught him. Woo. Looks like we're coming around the bend here into a nice, sort of a narrow section. I don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to when we get to that last fork. You know, I kind of want to go up and explore, you know, whatever's up that other fork. All right, I'm coming out of there. I'm gonna go down there at some point further down this way, but I want to check out this little fork here. This is a nice little pool here, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's further up. Looks like we got quite the canyon here. You know, these crazy steep curved walls. Wow, that's a nice clear pool there, very blue. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna keep going up, but if I don't find anything better, I may dip in this. I definitely think this is all fish fork, and part of it's just because, like, I mean, in the turbid water you really see it, but you can kind of hear, you know, I might spook them, but you know, there were a lot of trout just a few moments ago. So yeah, maybe you'll be able to see them. I mean, yeah, I don't know, they're heading towards that water. But yeah, as you kind of walk casually through here, you're gonna see a bunch of fish, or at least I did. So maybe it's Fish Fork. Not sure what I'm gonna find out here, but love these canyon walls, you know. And yeah, I'm getting kind of hungry, so I think I'm gonna do a quick little snack and then keep pushing up that way, you know. I'm not sure how far I've gone, but I like to kind of take this one up until I find something neat. Starting to look nice, you know. We got some little cascades right there, and yeah, we'll keep on going, maybe just a little bit more. There's a fork behind me, and then a fork this way too, you know, so I might just kind of poke up this way a little quick, real quickly. The gradient's kind of steep, but I do really need to kind of get back, you know, so I can't spend too much more time exploring this one. All right, yeah, I'm gonna make my way back, I think. You know, I definitely could keep going, but I do want to get back before it gets dark, and I'm not sure how long it'll take to get back. I mean, it'll be shorter than it took to get up, but I don't even know how far away I am from the trail. So I'm gonna head down. I think maybe sometime in the future I'll come up and explore this one more. I was hoping for a waterfall maybe below the two forks here, if this is fish, whatever it is, Fish Fork. But yeah, that's not the case, and I don't know if I'm remembering things correctly. I think I saw like some canyoneering site or some blog say something like that, but not the case, you know. I might be wrong, so I may do some research before I actually come and revisit the spot and see if I can find some waterfalls. All right, I just need to rinse off in one of these pools, you know, and this one looks deep enough, so just gonna get in, get cross-legged maybe, dunk my head real quick, and then keep on going. Whew, nice and chilly. All right, ready? Cold plunge. 1, 2, and 3. Whew. Oh, it's really soothing. All right, I'm gonna set my phone down, maybe hang out here a little longer, and then, yeah, get on my way. I'm back at the junction between whatever that fork is and then the San Gabriel River. And yeah, I just gotta say, you know, when I'm doing the ones that are just a little longer time-wise, I need to watch it for some of the detours, you know. I think that one, you know, just as far as I went, I don't know how far it was in mileage, but, you know, maybe not super far, but just all the loose rocks and stuff makes it kind of add up in time. And yeah, I definitely, you know, out and back added a little bit more than I was anticipating. So yeah, I gotta be careful. Anyways, yeah, I think what I'm gonna do from here on out is just kind of head back, but I'll stop at places that I didn't get to show you guys yet due to the darkness, and get some footage. It's starting to look like narrows here, you know, a little bit. Got these really high canyon walls, so yeah, let's keep moving down. So you got these springs here that are actively trickling that form these pretty big stalactites, you know. I don't know how well you can see them, but yeah, there are more like over there. That one's quite large and further up, you know, so pretty neat hydrology here. But yeah, anyways, thought I'd show you all this briefly before I keep going. There's kind of a little bench-like thing here actually, so you can just sit and hang out with all the cool stalactites, you know, just right over there. Approaching another section of narrows, and yeah, you know, I think some of the walls here are certainly some of the tallest amongst canyons in the area. Another nice little section of narrows here. Definitely one of my favorites in the San Gabriels, but I don't come here very often. I mean, it was closed, but it's nice to be back. Wow, this is a nice little section. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of this, as I mentioned before, but yeah, you know, East Fork of the San Gabriel River for you. It's hard to beat. Here's that camp I saw, and I don't see anyone actually camping here right now for whatever reason, so wish I could say hi to someone, but there's no one to really say hi to. This seems like one of many great pools here. I think I'm gonna have to take a dip real quick before I proceed, but yeah, we're getting close to quite a few nice pools near the bridge to Nowhere. All right, this is pretty deep. I'm gonna do my cold plunge. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Oh yeah, nothing like dunking my head in cool water on a warm day. So yeah, I'm kind of on a time crunch, you know. I told someone I'd get back in the evening, which, I mean, I'll definitely get back in the evening, but I don't want it to be super late. And you can kind of tell that it's, I don't know exactly what time it is, but it's, it's starting to kind of dim a little bit outside. So yeah, I'm gonna do my thing and keep going. But yeah, gotta take advantage of some of these pools when I have them right near me. There's the bridge to nowhere, as they call it, and yeah, what I believe is the case is that this used to be a bridge that was active, driven on when mining was occurring on the East Fork. Like mining does occur, but like actual, like bigger blasting kind of mining. But yeah, it still stands today, and people do bungee jump there. So, you know, if that's something you're interested in, that's something you can do. I think you need to make some sort of reservation though with the company, whatever it is. But yeah, anyways, very beautiful. Looking forward to being able to jog soon, actually. For some of the pools down there, I've seen people actually jump, you know, never like really, really high jumps, but the water can be deep enough for you to just jump off the side of the rock there. But anyways, yeah, do it at your own risk. Looking forward to jogging back, as I said before. This is kind of a sweet view of the bridge to nowhere. FYI, middle of the day, this place can be pretty popular on weekends, although I'm not sure how it is, now since it just recently opened. But nice area, beautiful bridge, and yeah. This is the bungee jumping company if you're interested. And yeah, you'll be jumping off the bridge all the way down there. So this is all the debris from the, Allison Gulch, I guess. And what wound up happening here is it looks like it ponded off a bunch of the creek. So there are a lot of trout there, actually. But yeah, this is, it goes up a ways and it's a lot wider than it used to be here. Pretty interesting to me, but yeah, anyways, let's keep going.